All right, got Western Illinois in town here this Saturday. 4 o'clock ball game. Should be a packed house. Get that third down crowd noise going pretty good so we can have a home field advantage. We appreciate that. But, Coach Nielsen brings in a good football team. Record's a little bit deceiving. I looked at last week's game and the Minnesota game also, but primarily last week's game because I have a lot of respect for South Dakota State and what kind of football team they are. Defensively, they held South Dakota State to 109 yards net rushing. 80 yards came on one play from Zenner, so the other 30 attempts, they had 29 yards, I guess you'd say. So did a good job there. They ran the ball for 144 yards against South Dakota State's defense, which was impressive. Got 2 picks. They have 19 turnovers, 19 sacks on the year, a bunch of turnovers, I think 9 interceptions. So that's been a point of emphasis to their football team. 2 big backs, good size offensive line, but 2 backs that can pound on you a little bit. And, I see a defense that's playing hard. Coach Ward is our defensive coordinator. He's a holdover from the previous staff. He's a disciple of North Dakota State. Was with Craig Bull at one time. So see some similarities there, obviously. But they'll come on here ready to play. Stand-by Stadium is a great venue, and we expect another great crowd on Saturday night.
How much better have they gotten since they were 2 years ago when you guys beat them up pretty good?
My first year, they had a playoff team there, had a pretty good team, real good quarterback. Second year, I think we caught them at the right time. I think that score was a little bit deceiving as far as maybe where their team was. But they play hard, and that's a compliment to their coaching staff and their kids.
Eric, what's the biggest difference between last October and this October, besides, the winning?
Well, obviously turnovers. That's, it's the only reason we lost those games. It's that simple. You don't turn the ball over, you got a chance to win. Same plays, same players.
You don't talk about rankings, you don't talk about any personal accolades at all, correct?
Nope.
How do you motivate this team then?
We're self-motivated, very humble, very hungry. We went through some ups and downs here, and we're self-motivated. These kids want to play hard. They want to have success. They've invested. I think when you've put a lot into your trade or your work or your business, whatever you do, I think when you've invested a lot, you're willing to lay it on the line. And got a tight-knit group. It's a real brotherhood and real family. And I think you can tell that when you're around our kids. We got good kids here.
Sounds like strength versus strength, your offense against their defense this week?
Well, I think their offense is pretty good too when you look at what they did against South Dakota State statistically. If they didn't have 4 interceptions, who knows what the score of that game would have been. So that was the difference in the ball game. But, they're going to bring it. They're going to be ready to play. They'll be excited to play us.
What do you see as the biggest threat that they pose to you in terms of either the way they play or the schemes they use?
Well, I think offensively, they like to run the football. And just like with any team, you got to be able to stop the run. Watson's 250 pounds, that's a pretty good sized back. And then they got a guy that's 5'8", 190, so he's obviously hard to find back there. And all you got to do is find a crease. They run some similar things that we do offensively as far as concepts. So, and then obviously defensively, I think they're a well-coached defense. I think schematically what they do is good. I think they're creative, and I think they scheme you up a little bit every week on trying to do some certain things. And that's part of the gamesmanship of the game of football.
Martin Ruiz, is he expected to be back?
Yeah, he'll be back. He's got a sprained ankle.
A lot of things get said since the conference started about how good the 2 phases out of the 3 have played. Heard a lot about the offense, a lot about the defense. You haven't really heard much about special teams.
Let's keep it that way. Our kickoff team has been doing a really good job. It's a compliment to Coach Bryant. and the players. You know, we have a lot of freshmen and sophomores out there playing on our special teams, whether it's kickoff return or kickoff. And obviously that bodes well for the future. But we got a lot of young talent out there playing, and they're taking pride in it and getting better at it every week. And I think it starts with Coach Bryant and our coaching staff as far as making it a focal point and emphasis. And, you know, we know flat out, you know, we lost a couple games last year because of special teams play, and it wasn't scheme. You know, it was a guy not doing what he was asked to do.
Eric, a lot of players and coaches say we could only control what we can do on Saturday. Coming off the game you played Saturday, 8 touchdowns, 8 possessions. I mean, what can you improve on? I mean, was it? I mean, I'm not saying it's a near perfect game.
Well, I mean, you know, we had 2 sacks. We had to punt a couple times. You know, so that's not good. You know, can't have sacks. Shouldn't have those. Shouldn't have any lost yardage plays. You know, every time you hand the ball off, it should be 4 yards minimum, 5 yards. So we got a lot of things we can work on. Fundamentally, playing lower, better pad level. And then obviously defensively, we felt like that we could have did some things better too as far as keeping the ball in front of us and tackling.
So it was not as a crisp game as
No,
what it was perceived to be.
Nah, those scores are always misleading. You know, I'll tell you the way it is. You guys know that.
You do anything for Torian Pace on homecoming court? I think it's embarrassing.
No, we haven't been messing with them. We don't recognize those individual stuff like that. You know, we're a team, man. We just worry about each other and doing team things.
So were you on homecoming court?
No, come on, man. I wasn't very popular. Imagine me being popular.
You had the Osborne midriff going?
No. No, I was a black sheep.
Monheim's starting to get more and more.
He looks pretty good. Looks pretty good, doesn't he? It's nice when you got all those guys back there that can run. Speed and power. It's a good combination.
You even got a Jody Webb in the back pocket.
Yep, Jody Webb's pretty good too. So those guys are all good. So just gotta keep building on, keep on trying to get better. They can all improve. I can assure you that.
Eric, can you sense the momentum kind of, you know, not with your team, but in the community, that sort of thing?
I'm really honestly sheltered. You know, it's like when the government shut down a couple weeks ago, I didn't even know. I mean, the only reason I found out is I was watching ESPN. They were talking about the military schools might not be able to travel there for games. You know, I don't, you know, no offense to you guys, but I really don't, I don't get the newspaper. I don't watch TV. I don't have a TV in my bedroom. When I go home at night, if my daughter's still up or stoned, I read them a book. And, you know, I don't listen to the radio. I mean, I don't acknowledge it. I'm locked into that dark room in there for all day and until I see you guys. You guys got all these bright colors on today. You guys look good. Got a little wildcat purple, banana yellow. You look like an autumn harvest over there. With like
You look like an apple.
a nice gala apple.
Is that something you've adopted, you know, not watching the TV, or is that something you've always done? Or is
I've always done it.
Yeah.
You know, when you coach in the SEC, you know what I mean, and Big Ten, you know, they're always crucifying them offensive line coaches. So I've been through a lot of tough days in my life with football and with my son.
Right.
You're not going to get to me.
What do you think of Cinco's beer? Is it one of the more impressive beers you've been around?
I get worried about pheasants and rabbits being in there. You know what I mean? We get on the plane sometimes. I worry about, you know, livestock commission stepping on there and pulling them off. But he's a unique individual, isn't he? Huh? I met Willie from Duck Dynasty and them guys a couple years ago at the Preakness, and he's getting near that length.